In this video, I'm going to give you gift ideas under $100 and under $50 that you can get for the filmmaker in your life. Hey, what's going on? My name is Peter Sarellas. I'm a videographer and editor from Toronto, Canada. I specialize in sports videography, and today we're doing a full holiday gift guide. I'm going to give you a bunch of ideas that you can get for a filmmaker, videographer, photographer, whatever you want really in your life for the holiday season for under $100 or under $50, whatever suits your fancy. Or maybe you're actually a filmmaker watching this video and you just want to get a gift for yourself, and that's totally cool. Like, I watch that type of content all the time, and if so, sit back, relax, enjoy. We're just going to talk about some cool stuff that I've kind of been interested in and has caught my eye that maybe you can get for the holidays for yourself. So the first thing that I want to talk about in the under $50 range, which is where we're going to start, is UV filters. And I know this is kind of like a boring thing, I guess, but UV filters are so important because you spend a lot of money on lenses, which you know if you're a filmmaker. And if you're not a filmmaker, lenses are expensive. Like, it's just the way it is. I don't think I have any lenses that cost like less than $1,000. And you don't want a lens to crack on the front because you drop it or something, and then all that money's gone. So putting a little cheap UV filter on the front, well, not a cheap one, but you know, cheap relative to the cost of a lens, is a great way to protect that investment. Because if you drop it and the front element breaks and you have a UV filter on, you're maybe breaking a $30 filter, not a $1,000 lens. So you can get UV filters on Amazon. I would recommend using Tiffin UV filters if you can. I have a bunch of Tiffin filters and I like them. They're not overly expensive for the most part, and they're pretty good quality. You can get a whole bunch of different thread sizes, and the lenses can be like 67 millimeters, 72 millimeters, 77 millimeters, or more for their thread size, but I would recommend just getting the largest thread size possible. And I'm going to explain with our next gift, which is step-up rings. And yes, this kind of goes in line with the UV filter. Step-up rings are basically little rings that let you put a filter with a diameter larger than that of the front element of the camera's lens that you're using onto a camera lens with, well, a smaller diameter. So say you want to get a UV filter for the filmmaker in your life and you get a 82 millimeter thread size, but their lens is a 67 millimeter thread size. Well, they can use these step-up rings to adapt this larger filter to their smaller lens. And if later they buy a different lens that has, say, a 77 millimeter thread size, instead of having to buy a brand new filter, they can still use that 82 millimeter thread by using the step-up rings. So it lets you, instead of buying a whole bunch of different filters, buy one of every filter at a larger size and then adapt it to all your lenses. So it's a pretty cheap and affordable way to save money on like all the different filters that you have to buy. So I own like multiple pairs of step-up rings, and if you know someone who doesn't, or if you don't, I would recommend getting some because they're actually really, really useful. And I'm using them on this camera right now as I film this shot. The next gift I want to talk about is SD cards, and every camera needs something to store photos and videos on, and most consumer cameras take SD cards. Now, SD cards can come in a whole bunch of different prices depending on the size of the SD card and how fast you need it to be. So if you're going to get somebody an SD card, I would recommend figuring out what model of camera they have, then looking at the speeds at which that camera writes video to the memory card, how many megabits a second you need for whatever video codec file you're going to be shooting, and then make sure that you get something appropriate. Like my Sony a7 IV, for example, I need a memory card that can record at 300 megabits a second to film in 4K 60 with 10-bit color. A lot of cameras don't shoot footage that high quality and will need a slower SD card. Or some cameras might need even faster SD cards, and they might need a CF Express card or a CF Type A card or something. And you don't necessarily want to be getting someone like a $400 memory card that might not work. But if you know that someone has like a consumer level, like entry level camera and they're a beginner, then you can get a 128 gigabyte SD card from SanDisk that can write at 200 megabits a second for like $26, which is quite a bit of space and a pretty solid way to start someone off on their like photography journey to make sure they can actually shoot a whole bunch of video. Because I know when I personally started making videos, I had like a 32 gigabyte SD card and it was really annoying running out of space as I was shooting photos or videos. And just getting someone a big SD card can just like open a bunch of doors for creativity and let them worry about actually making things, not how much file space they have. All right, so the next thing on the list, and this is actually like one of the most helpful things in my camera bag, is a camera multi-tool. And I specifically have this one from Smallrig. It comes in this hard case right here. And it's basically a tool you can use to adjust anything on your camera or any of your accessories. So if you have like a camera rig, you can use this to tighten everything up. If something gets loose, you can use it to take a tripod plate off of your camera, or put a tripod plate on your camera, whatever you're gonna do really. But this one specifically has this flathead screwdriver type of thing. And then it has a Phillips screwdriver right here. It has a bunch of different sizes of Allen keys on both sides. And it has this other screwdriver for which I don't really know the name. But it's really nice to have this one convenient tool that folds up into this little package in my pocket all the time when I'm filming. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and if anything ever needs adjusting, I have all the tools that I need right here to get it done and just continue filming, not worrying about like why my top handle is loose and will my camera fall out of its rig and break or something. So for like the 20-25 bucks that it costs you to get a good multi-tool, I would recommend doing it. The next thing I want to talk about is these super strong camera magnets that I actually just heard about recently from Gerald Undone, which is, by the way, an amazing YouTube channel for any filmmaker. So if you don't follow Gerald Undone and you watch me, I would recommend go watching him because it's probably one of my favorite channels on YouTube. But anyway, these super strong camera magnets come in either 1/4 20" or 3/8" thread sizes and can support up to 90 pounds, which is pretty nuts. You can literally screw this super strong magnet into the bottom of your camera and then just stick the camera onto like a wall, or like, I don't know who has metal walls, but like onto any metal surface or a cabinet or something, and the camera will just stay. It's cool for getting like creative camera angles. I actually have mine coming in the mail right now. I ordered them off of Amazon and I'm really looking forward to getting them. Would I actually trust this one single magnet to support 90 pounds? Probably not. But would I put my mirrorless camera on it? Yeah, absolutely. And it can be like basically a mini tripod, which is like, you know, when you think of 4 magnetic screws basically for $30, that doesn't seem like a great deal. But when you think of it as 4 mini tripods that let you get cool creative camera angles with your mirrorless camera and shots that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise, or that would take like a lot of time and money to rig without these magnets, then the price is kind of justified. So I'm looking forward to getting mine. I'll put the link to Gerald Undone's video where he featured these magnets in the description. All right, the next gift I've got on my list, and it comes in at only $20 to $25 for a 40-pack of them, is these hand warmers. And I know that seems like a bit of a silly gift, but trust me, if you know anyone who does film or photography outside, these things are an absolute must. Like literally just a couple weeks ago, I was filming football games outside in like minus 20 degrees Celsius weather, and it would have been pretty much impossible to operate the camera if I didn't have hot packs in so that I could actually feel my hands. Nobody's able to use fingers they can't feel to click tiny little buttons and move around quickly on a small computer-like device. So like if you're gonna be filming outside, you need these. And if you know someone who does film outside, they can never really get enough of them. So I would recommend hooking them up. Kind of in a similar vein, another gift you could get that same person who does a lot of filming or photography outside is camera gloves. These are the ones that I have, and I actually picked them up pretty recently when I was filming outside because I didn't have a good pair and I hadn't really filmed outside much before. But filming football games outside for like hours at a time, these were absolute lifesavers because not only are they just like regular gloves that have like good grip on the inside so that I can properly like hold on to things. So these gloves have this like basically magnet here where I can flip this back to point my thumb and my pointer finger out. And then it's like magnetized back here so it doesn't come forward. And it lets me operate the camera using these 2 fingers. And then when I'm done, I can just flip them back in and my fingers are still warm. It also has like this back segment right here where if you want to, you can like throw an SD card in or something in case you've got like, I don't know, a card that just filled up and you don't have time to run back to your camera bag while you're filming. You can keep it safe in there. I think that those ones were about $50, but I actually can't find the link online for them because I bought them in person at a local camera store where I was filming. But there's like a whole page of these camera gloves that range from between like $30 to $100 on B&H's website, so that's going to be linked down in the description along with everything else. Check it out as you see fit and get the ones that you think would work best for you. Now, batteries are a constant issue for filmmakers. We have not only the camera itself, but monitors and lighting accessories and our phones that we all have to worry about giving battery power to. And it's honestly a lot to think about sometimes. So one thing that I always carry with me and that I would recommend that everybody has is a portable power pack. I specifically used this one here. It's from a company called Blue Hive, and again, I got this as a gift actually, which is why I'm recommending it in this gift guide. But I couldn't find this online. So I found a different one that from a brand that I also have used power packs from, Anker, that gives you 10,000 milliamp hours and is a really portable compact solution. It weighs only like 180 grams or something. It has a ton of good Amazon reviews. They can really be lifesavers, and I think it's only like 30 bucks. So it's a pretty easy gift to get someone, and even if they're not a filmmaker, honestly, I think it can be a pretty useful thing to have. And the final gift that I want to recommend for under $50 is picture frames. I feel like everybody should have printed versions of their work, yet almost nobody does, and I'm guilty of this as well. I really want to get some stills from videos that I've shot printed, and I just haven't actually done it yet. But if you just get someone a picture frame, maybe that can be the start that they need to actually print off some photos or find a still of a video that they shot that they want to get printed off and put on their wall. It's pretty cheap. You can get two 11x14 picture frames for like 20 bucks. And it's just a way to tell someone, hey, I think your work looks good and you should frame it up. Do it. Because sometimes all we need is like a little bit of a push to actually take something that's digital and make it physical. And especially considering most of the work that we produce as like filmmakers and videographers is not tangible, it's just digital. It's kind of nice to have something that you've created that's tangible and in your hands that you can feel and look at on your wall whenever you want. All right, now moving on to the $100 and under section. The first thing I want to talk about is the Rode VideoMic Go 2. This is a $100 ultra compact shotgun microphone. I have a bunch of microphones from Rode, which is why I would easily recommend this. I have the Rode Video Micro and the Rode VideoMic Go 2, which I'm using right now. You can see it right here on my shirt. And I've found that the quality of all my Rode products is pretty solid, and I've even had an experience where one of their products didn't work and their customer service was really good at getting me a replacement quickly. So the Rode VideoMic Go 2 is something I would definitely recommend, and also something that I want to personally get for myself. I'm probably going to place an order for it right after this video. You can use it as a shotgun microphone on your camera, or as a USB microphone where you can like plug it into your computer and do like Zoom calls and record yourself talking straight into an audio editor or do things of that nature. And for $100, like to get an actually decent sounding microphone is already a feat in and of itself. So if you can get one, and this seems like it's the one considering all the other $50 microphones I've gotten from Rode have been solid, then it could be a really awesome gift for someone who doesn't really have a solid microphone that they can consistently depend on. Another gift that's maybe a little bit on the pricier side, but still under $100 and that I think is well worth it, is blue light blocking glasses. I wear these all the time because as a videographer, I'm spending hours and hours in front of screens editing, and I want to make sure that my eyes are protected. I'm not wearing them right now because of reflections in glasses when filming video, but the glasses that I got are actually right here. They're from a company called Kits, which I'm pretty sure is Canadian, and they were $100, but there's a whole bunch of companies that sell blue light glasses. You can pretty much get blue light glasses from any place that sells glasses. I don't really know what the best places are in the US, but there's definitely some pairs that you can get off of Amazon, and before I got these pairs of Kits glasses, which are a little bit more solidly built and feel a lot nicer and also have things like anti-scratch and all that. I did have a pair of Amazon glasses. I used them for a long time, and until I cracked my $25 Amazon glasses, they worked really well. So if you know someone who spends way too much time in front of a screen, blue light glasses could be a really good thing to get them. For these next couple of gifts, I want to talk about things that are kind of also related to post-production and editing, but that you would find on your desk and can just make your workspace feel more efficient. And the first thing is the Logitech MX Master mouse. I personally use the original Logitech MX Master, but there is the MX Master 3, which is out now, which has quieter clicks. You can hear if I click this one, that it is not quiet. And the new one actually charges via USB-C, so it should get longer battery life and faster charging time versus this one, which charges with a micro USB, which is kind of an outdated form of charging nowadays. But the actual mouse feels really good in your hand. I like this one a lot. My thumb fits perfectly into this little crevice right here, and it fits my hand perfectly, and I have a bit of a bigger hand. But it makes it a lot easier for me to sit at my desk for like 8 hours and work a full day of editing when my hand is comfortable the whole time. I used to use this dinky wired Amazon Basics mouse, and sure, it got the job done, but like my hand just dwarfs this thing. And to have to crumple my hand like this all the time, it can actually give you like arthritis and make your hand feel worse. So having an ergonomic mouse is so important, and I especially love that it's wireless because it just keeps your workspace clean and makes it feel like a space where you can sit and be productive for a long time. And kind of in the same vein as the mouse, I want to talk about my Logitech MX Keys keyboard. You can get the compact version for $100, or you can pay an extra $20 and get the extended version. So I have the extended version, which has this number pad on the side of it. This is available for Mac or PC. So it doesn't really matter what the person edits on. Like, as long as you know what the person that you're buying this for uses, you can get them the Mac one or you can get them the PC one. And it's, well, one, wireless, which again, I think is awesome. It's able to pair with up to 3 devices. So I personally have my personal laptop, my desktop, and my work laptop all connected to this keyboard and to the mouse, as a matter of fact. And I can switch between them with just a click of a button, which is awesome. It just feels really good to type on as well. Some people love listening to keyboards click, so I'm just gonna do it. Honestly, I can't really explain to you how good the keyboard feels. It just feels good. So if you know someone who can use a bit of an upgrade in the keyboard department, like go to Best Buy or I don't know, whatever tech stores are around you, actually use the thing and see if you like it. And if you do, it could be a pretty good gift. All right, now we're almost done here, but pretty much the last thing on the list that I want to talk about is the Nanlite PavoTube 6C, which is this guy right here. As you can see, I own one, I love it. This tiny little light, which is, I don't know, how big is this compared to my head? It's probably about the same length as my head, is able to do anything from 2700 Kelvin to 7200 Kelvin. It can also do RGB modes, and it charges via USB-C and has an internal battery, so you can just carry it around like this. I've used this on sets before as like a practical light. I'll hide it in a lamp or something. I've also even used it in YouTube videos where I'll just stick it somewhere and use it as a rim light. The thing is also magnetic, so it's super easy to mount. The best way is probably to actually show you. Yeah, so as you can see, the thing is definitely magnetic, and it's magnetic not only on the back here, but also on either end like this, and it has 1/4-20 threads on either end, so you can mount it properly without magnets if you'd like. It comes in this slick little felt case, and you get like a whole bunch of these little square magnet thingies along with a little spigot attachment thing like this in the bag. Oh, and you get like this little wrist strap if you ever want it, not that I've ever used it. And it's like 80 bucks, so it's pretty affordable, and the light looks really good. As an alternative, if you don't necessarily want a tube style light like this, but you prefer a square LED panel type of light, the Aperture MC is pretty similar. It has the RGB function, just magnetic, and it's like a little tiny square style thing that's a little bit more compact than this. So you can also consider that if you'd like. Sorry for the light in this video. It's been all over the place. The sun just keeps rolling in from behind clouds, and I thought I wouldn't have to light this video. I could just use natural light, and that's obviously not the case. But anyways, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel because I post videography and video editing tips and tutorial videos similar to this one on a regular basis, and I'd love to have you around for that. If you have any questions about anything we talked about today, go drop it in the comment section. I would love to have a discussion with you down there. And if there's any products that caught your eye that you're thinking about getting, they're all going to be linked in the description, so you can go check them out down there. They are affiliate links, which means that at no additional cost to you, the seller of the product gives me a kickback for referring you to the product. So if you're going to buy any of these products and you use my link, I would greatly appreciate that. Anyways, that's going to be all for this video as the sun blinds me. So until next time, peace. Wow. That got really bright really quickly. Oh my God.